Hello, thank you for joining us. We are joining you from Arch Disability Law Center's office in Toronto, Canada, and we acknowledge that we are located on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and that this land is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. My name is Gabriel Resnick, and I'm a staff lawyer at Arch Disability Law Center, and I'm joined by Rosie Giannoni, a law student completing a placement at Arch. Arch is a specialty legal clinic that practices exclusively in disability rights law. Arch is dedicated to defending and advancing the equality rights, fundamental freedoms, and inclusion of persons with disabilities in Ontario. Arch is primarily funded by Legal Aid Ontario. This series of videos was created to provide useful tips for persons registering or re-registering for TTC Wheel-Trans services. The information provided in these videos explains the new eligibility categories created for specialized transportation services, the new models of specialized transportation, the Wheel-Trans application and reapplication process, and how to appeal a Wheel-Trans eligibility decision. These videos are Toronto Transit Commission, TTC specific. The procedures may be different in other municipal paratransit companies. This video is the first in a series of 4 videos about reassessments for eligibility of Wheel-Trans service. In this video, we will explain the legislative changes that led to the creation of new eligibility categories for specialized transportation services, such as Wheel-Trans. We will explain what each of these categories are and how they impact your access to Wheel-Trans. The Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, often referred to as the AODA, was passed in 2005. The purpose of the AODA was to remove barriers so that persons with disabilities have the equal access to services and organizations. Following the passing of this legislation, the Ontario government passed specific transportation regulations in 2017. These regulations outline that conventional transportation, which means TTC buses, streetcars, and subways, must be accessible. For example, all buses must have a ramp. The regulation created 3 different eligibility categories for specialized transportation, including Wheel-Trans services.
The 3 new eligibility categories are unconditional, temporary, and conditional. We will now describe each to you. Unconditional eligibility is provided to persons whose disability prevents them from riding conventional transportation. Persons found to be eligible for this category will receive door-to-door Wheel-Trans services on 1 vehicle. Temporary eligibility is provided to those whose disabilities are temporary and who cannot use conventional transportation as a result of their disability. For example, if an individual had a knee replacement surgery and could no longer use conventional transportation, that person would be given temporary eligibility. Temporary eligibility is for a specific period. After that time passes, you would have to reapply to Wheel-Trans. Conditional eligibility is provided to persons whose disability prevents them from consistently using conventional transportation. For example, if you have trouble boarding and deboarding during rush hour, you may be eligible to book a Wheel-Trans trip during rush hour. Outside of rush hour, you may need to book a family of services trip that will include a mix of conventional, TTC, and Wheel-Trans services. The family of services model will be described in the next video entitled Family of Services Trips versus Door-to-Door Trips. If you registered for Wheel-Trans after 2017, you have already been placed into one of the eligibility categories. If you registered for Wheel-Trans before 2017, the TTC will ask you to re-register and will place you into one of the three categories. If you have not yet received a letter asking you to re-register, you can expect to receive one before 2025. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, please contact our office at 416-482-8255 or by email to general@arch.clcj.ca or by visiting our website at archdisabilitylaw.ca.